up? It's your boy Milano back at it again with another video. Fortunately, this video is not too happy. Um, yeah, it's not gonna be a happy day today, So I will say this, guys. I can't really go into detail with the case because now I gotta take this situation seriously. I'm gonna have to lawyer up. Um, what up, Jamie's? But yeah, man, I'm gonna have to really lawyer up, get a paid lawyer for this situation. I had the court today for the Miami situation. I the guy ended up showing up, so we're gonna have to really fight this. What do you mean he's going off, Jamie's? I don't understand it. You say he's going off. I don't know. I've been paying attention a little bit, but I haven't been following up with a lot of stuff too much. I mean, I've been in the chat like on the last part, but yeah. Good thing is I was able to get a haircut today, but that really doesn't matter. Yeah, guys. So a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, a couple people have been asking me, "Yo, Milano, when are you traveling again? When are you next time going overseas?" I remember one of these guys. Shout out to them. Mag Dog TV. He was asking me the same thing. He was like, "Yo, when do you think you're gonna be going overseas again?" And I'm like, "Yo, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I don't know." And again, right now with everything going on, I really don't know. I'm not just saying that to keep you guys on the limb and have you guys just come and watch my live, because that's not what I do. I don't really clickbait like that. You know what I mean? Let me see what they tell me. Okay, Jamie's. Yeah, I don't know, bro. Like I said, bro, some people have it lucky where they're able, and I've been in time. Okay, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, man, that situation, I'll say this. I was actually supposed to go live with you guys and have a fundraiser. Now, guys, I still appreciate if you guys donate, but I'm not going to beg you. I'm not going to plead. I'm not going to make no demands. I'm sorry. There's certain guys that could do that. Nothing against them. And I'm not trying to bash them. This video has nothing to do with them. But I don't know. I don't feel right, doing fundraisers and beg you guys to donate money to me. I mean, I do want the donations and I do appreciate it. And, unless you don't want me to show your name, I'll always show your name in the community part, the community section of you donate and show my appreciation. But I just feel like, I don't know. I hate to really go and put my problems on people as far as financially, like, oh, if you guys want me to go somewhere, you guys got to give me all this money to do it. There's people doing that, and that works for them. But to me, I feel like it won't work for me. Everything works for different people. And it's just in my morals that I really can't do it. I had certain situation with Jamie's, we'll put out there, but we're good now. But, when I got mad at him because he was like, "Oh, you're e-begging, you're doing this." But that was a situation where I was not getting no money at all. And usually I never do that, guys. You know me for all these years, the ones that have been my day ones. I normally never ask for money. I've had, shout out to Roller Tape. There was time Roller Tape told me I should put my Cash App PayPal so people could donate. I wasn't even thinking about that because my mind was on something else. It was on, just trying to give the content, the knowledge, and the information, and just bless somebody. I wasn't thinking about really trying to get funds or making money as far as the donations is concerned. When I was overseas, yeah, I will admit I did demand money in certain times, but that's because I was taking this YouTube as a business. It was going to be my only way of income besides my side hustles. So that is why I had a demand. But now that I'm working, I'm not really demanding people to do donations, because at the end of the day, I feel like it's not me. Like, I'm not going to say I don't need the money, but I don't want to look like and make it look like, oh, I'm trying to finesse people, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm hurting. I want y'all to do it just to pay for my trip, you know, when at the end of the day, I know I can actually pay for my own trip. And on top of this, a lot of the guys that, you guys donate to, a lot of times they have to listen to you guys. They have to do what you want. At least with mine, at least with my situation, when I pay for my own trips, I don't have to do what anybody wants. I do what I want because nobody's paying for it. You know what I mean? I'll still give you guys still give you guys good content, quality videos, whatever, good entertainment, laughs, whatever, because I'm a good entertainer. But I'm not going to have it where I'm going to crash out just because you guys gave me money and I owe that and I have to go here. I have to stay in Sasua because you guys told me. No, it don't work like that. You know what I mean? And that's probably why I won't ask you guys for the money, because I'm too stubborn in my ways. You know what I mean? And I'm too proud for that. Let's see. Hello, Rivals Dart. What up? What up? What up? How are you doing? I could be better. I mean, it just really sucks with the situation with this is going to be continuing, and I'm probably not going to be going anywhere anytime soon, guys. I'm just going to be honest. I'm still going to drop content and, think of certain subjects so I can still, give you guys good quality content. But as far as going overseas, I don't see anything happen anytime soon. Again, guys, this is something I didn't expect. It was something I thought, the situation was going to be dropped onto another one. But again, I have responsibilities. I have certain obligations I have to do. And guys, I have to take care of my real life at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Bro, I'm subscribed. Rivals Dart, I appreciate you. Keep saving. Harry Loksa, keep saying hello. I am from India. All right. Good insurance company you want to recommend? What do you mean insurance company? What do you mean? What insurance company? Travel, driving. Like, you gotta be specific. I would just get the insurance they provide for you when you buy the plane ticket. They have insurance they provide with the plane ticket already. Oh, cars. Well, the car I got, the insurance is already included in there. It's not through the DMV insurance, but I would say State Farm if you're gonna do the DMV. I would do State Farm. That's probably the best to me. State Farm, or I think State Farm, and there's another one. I forgot. There's another one. State Farm and Geico's okay. But yeah, guys, it's really messed up with the situation because I really wanted to go overseas ASAP, but the way things are looking, it's like, yo, I can't book a ticket until I find out what's going on. And on top of this is probably going to end up costing me some money. So that's another downside. And just to keep it 100 with you guys, this is how a lot of guys in the past, whether they're on the live or not, could say what they want. Call me an e-beggar, call me broke, call me a bum, call me a loser because I'm begging for money. But just know this. Not only am I not begging people to send me any fundraiser money, I mean, you could do it if you want. I appreciate it. I will, always will. But not only am I not begging anybody for fundraisers, I'm not even having my mom pay for my lawyer that I'm gonna have to pay. I'm doing it myself. She offered, but I rejected her. I don't want her paying for it. I feel like it's my responsibility. Again, a lot of you guys look up to people who are not stand-up people. And I'm not talking about really YouTubers in general. I'm just talking about some of these guys that's trolls and people who make videos bashing other people. You guys look up to these guys like they're stand-up people, and they're really not. And all they do is smoke. All they do is blow smoke up your culo. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I stand on who I am, and I'm not gonna sit up here and depend on people to take care of what I need to take care of. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it's my responsibility. I put myself in a situation, no matter how I feel about it, all in all. You know, there's actions and reactions, and every action causes a reaction, and every reaction, there's a consequence. So there's action, reaction, then consequence. I'm in the reaction stage. I was in the reaction stage, and now I'm in the consequence stage. You know, so I have to be a man and, face my consequences, whatever they are. I know a couple of people are gonna ask, are you getting locked up or whatever? No, fortunately, but it's still not good because I can't just go overseas like I want to and plan my escapade that I was supposed to go overseas and really be there for a long term. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. I don't really consider it bad or good because at the end of the, well, it's bad. It's definitely not good. I mean, it's good that I don't have to do time, but it's definitely not bad. I mean, it's definitely not good because at the end of the day, I'm not able to go overseas. And I'm pretty sure the individuals that put me in this situation are happy and they're enjoying it. Because at the end of the day, these same guys, and I'm not talking about anybody in the chat or any YouTubers, I know that's what you guys are going to try to flip this narrative. The guys that put me in this situation that I had to go to court today are the same guys that never can travel and never will be able to travel. And they want to put that situation on me because they hate me because they ain't me. They can't go overseas. They can't make moves overseas. And if they wanted to, they need somebody to go with them where I could go by myself at any given time. You know what I mean? So that's why they're mad at me. But at the end of the day, I could point the fingers and say, oh, yeah, it's their fault. It's their fault. I'm innocent. They did this, did that. I could say that all I want. But at the end of the day, again, I told you guys, action, reaction, consequence. You know what I mean? Let me see what people are saying. Stop that type. There's no GOG. What are you talking about? I'm not talking tough. What are you talking about? You're not making sense right now. You're not making sense. Some of you guys that comment in these sections, I really wonder, like, do you guys got like mental health issues or something? Or other issues? Because I'm not even talking tough right now. I'm talking facts and what's going on. If you don't like it, just get off my channel, bro. Like, it's not that hard. You know what I mean? Obviously, you have nothing else better to do but watch me. So, that should say something about you. You know what I mean? Let me see. Apex Travel, you going to jail? No, I'm not going to jail. That's the good part. But again, there's no good part in this because it's holding me up from my travels. I'm drinking water, guys, just so y'all know. I know y'all gonna create the narrative and say I'm drinking alcohol or something. But yeah, it's definitely not good because I'm gonna be stuck in the States for a little bit. Hopefully this gets resolved quicker than sooner, and maybe I can go somewhere before the summer. But I'm looking at 90% chance I'm not gonna be able to go overseas. Hard 90, maybe 95%, 92. You know, because at the end of the day, um, you know, this situation needs to get resolved. It's gonna cost money, you know, and that's that. You know what I mean? There's nothing else to really. There's no other excuse to make up or other reason. You know what I mean? Let me see. Are you gotta go back to court? Yeah, I just don't know when, so that's what's holding me up. That's how you got in that situation. GOG, no, it really wasn't. You don't even know the situation. That's the point. But again, I will say this, and I stand on it. People can say what they want about me. I'm going to highlight this because I really want to get down and dirty about this. I really want to get in that. That's how you got in that situation. Here's what I've noticed, right? And I'm not trying to blame people for my situation or nothing. But one thing I've noticed, and this is not just the travel community, because I don't want to look like, oh, I'm just bashing, I'm bitter and everything like that. But this is just going through with anything in life I've noticed. A lot of people are cowards and they won't stand up for what's right. And they think they're doing the right thing. But at the end of the day, a lot of them are cowards and they're stuck in that coward position. They won't defend themselves. They won't stand up for themselves. And they just want to play that safety role. You know, oh, let me shut up and keep my head down. Let me shut up and keep my head down. And let me tell you guys something, right? Because a lot of these guys, and they could say whatever. They could get mad. They could talk their junk and say, oh, yeah, Milano, that's what you get. That's why you can't travel. Ha, ha, ha. And say karma. I don't care if you guys say karma. You could guys say it in the comment right now. I really don't care. If that makes you feel better about yourself, that's fine. But at the end of the day, let's keep it 100. A lot of people in this world, not even just in the travel community, but a lot of people in this world have a lot of mental health issues they're going through that's bigger than my problem. Or my legal problem, should I say. A lot of people are going through a lot of stuff right now. Whether it's have to lose their federal jobs, they're stuck in a relationship they don't like. I know a guy who he has a girlfriend, bro. He has a Mexican girlfriend. He doesn't even like her. She's cheating on him. And he's stuck like Chuck because he thinks like, oh, I don't want to leave her. I love her and everything like that. He's stuck like Chuck in that situation, bro. There's people who are doing worse than me. And I'm not saying that because I want somebody to do worse than me. There's people who are actually doing worse than me. So that's why I'm not complaining. I'm just giving the situation what it is. Again, with this guy saying that's what got you in a situation being tough, I'm not being tough. I'm telling you what I'm going to do. I'm telling you I'm not going to beg you for no donation or a fundraiser because I don't want to feel like I owe somebody some money or I need to have them have power over me. And hence why I'm going to be rejecting my mom's. That's why I rejected my mom's offer for the money. Because I feel like it's my own responsibility. That's not being tough. That's being responsible. Again, there's a lot of people that don't understand the difference. They don't want to take responsibility. And this is why there's a lot of degenerates, not only in the travel space, but in this world. They feel like, oh, you know, I don't have to take responsibility for this. I don't have to do this. I don't have to do this. Somebody always got it. Well, at the end of the day, you know, God forbid anything happens to my mom, who am I going to run to? Say if, God forbid, I end up going bankrupt and I got to go to a homeless shelter. I'm not saying now. I'm saying if that happened and I didn't, something bad times really hit, who am I going to go to? Nobody. So I have to have that same mind frame that I don't have nobody but myself to get me out of this situation. This is why I was able to stay overseas for so long, guys. I have people ask me all the time, Milano, how was you able to stay overseas for such a long time? You stayed long. The pizza delivery stuff must be making a lot of money. Yeah, it was making okay money. I mean, I made a lot of money with Domino's, but that was like 5 years ago, so that doesn't count. I was making, okay money with Pizza Hut, but at the end of the day, and I work 2 jobs, but it's not how much you make, it's what you do with it. It's not how much you make, it's what you do with it. If you're blowing all your money on certain vices, you are not going to see the fruits of your labor. Perfect example, guys. Perfect example. And when he's talking about the thing, he said you're a good guy. But here's the thing, what you don't understand. When you said avoid people, avoid abrasive people, how do you know that? You don't know. There's people come in all types of disguises. That's the thing. People could, and I appreciate your advice. I'm not saying you're not right, but I'm telling you, I could tell you a situation. Look, and I'm not trying to make an excuse. I could put a hole right through that theory, because whatever's going to happen is going to happen. That's my philosophy, right? Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. People don't like it, but it is what it is, right? Same thing with how shout out to the New Yorkers. They always say it is what it is. That's the same thing. That's almost basically the same thing when I say whatever's going to happen is going to happen, right? I have a best friend, right? I'm not going to put his name out there because he's the one that put me on the travel, and I don't need to put his personal name out there. But he had a situation where he got scammed where they pulled out money from his account, right? Pulled out about $60,000. You're wondering, oh, he must have messed up. A couple of people was trying to blame him, like, oh, no. A lot of people in this world do not have open minds. They have really closed minds. You could tell them, like, listen, this will happen, or I seen this, or not this will happen. I seen this happen. I seen it with my own eyes. Literally, and have evidence, have witnesses. They won't believe you because they're closed-minded, right? And this is why people a lot of times wonder why they get the situations in life. Now, I know what people are going to say. Well, you're in a bad situation in life. How are you going to make it? Say anything. I can say it because I went through the experiences. Perfect example. Now, with my situation, right? I know what I did. Like I told you guys. Action, reaction, consequence, right? So with that being said, when I had to go through my consequence, I did a reaction, so I went through a consequence. That was my own situation. You know what I mean? That was my own situation. My boy, he didn't deserve this, because you guys may think, oh, he messed up, he gave somebody stuff. No. He was at his old job when they do the background checks. And I don't know why, because he has a degree and a clean record. But, everybody by a lovely president has to get a background check. But that's neither here nor there. So they did a background check. And the company that did the background check, I guess they had his information, his social security number. So be careful, guys. The company got hacked, and they got his social security. They went to his bank, and they took 60 grand. Now, a lot of people say how he did it. They took his social security, and they started pulling loans from other banks. But they took his information, pulled loans from other banks. That's the thing people got to worry about. See, this is not just me complaining, guys. I hope you guys want to understand that. This is not me complaining. I'm not even fundraising or e-begging. I'm giving y'all game. And this is really good content, and it's not just because I say so. It's because it's about life. Like, people got to understand something. Stuff happens. Again, I still stand on what I said. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. My boy is usually the type, like how you said, I avoid abrasive and people and losers, right? He doesn't stay around him. Actually, shout out to you, GOG. My boy that got his 60 grand taken out, he actually gives me that same advice. But that same advice can't get his 60 grand back. That same advice, the 60 grand he's only getting 4 grand back. So how do you say that to him? How do you tell him that? What's your answer for that? Again, this is a rhetorical question. There is no answer for that. There is no answer for that. He just has to deal with it, work a second job. You know, a lot of you guys, I know, not a lot of you guys, but a lot of people I know in the travel community. I say this because people in the real world, I never hear them clown anybody for whatever job they do, whether it's delivering pizza, you know, pushing shopping carts, whatever. But it's only in this sector they do that. But you could clown somebody for what they do, and you can clown somebody for what they do, and, you know, tease them about how they live their life or how they make their money, whatever, right? But this guy got to work a part-time job as a security guard. He has a degree. He shouldn't have to work a second job. He should be spending time with his family. But he can't because some loser went and hacked into the company account that does the background check. And his loser company didn't have the common sense or the dignity to erase everybody's erase everybody's social security. And he's probably not the only one that's got hit. I mean, he's probably the only one I know that's got hit. But at the end of the day, you know, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like I said, this is not a feel sorry for me or feel sorry for my boy, feel sorry for this. This is a wake-up call and a reality check for a lot of you guys, man. And I know what some of you guys are, oh, well, I don't have your problems, Milano, and I don't get scammed. I don't do this. Listen, there's a lot of people in the travel community going through hardships, getting scammed, going through some stuff, bro. A lot of them don't even talk about it. So, and it's none of my business for them to even, or any of our business for us to know about it or for them to talk about it. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of people going through stuff you guys really don't know. They just keep it quiet. I'm one of the few people that'll talk about it. You know what I mean? Let me see what you guys talking about right here. Let me see. Are you going to jail? That's how you got to that. While you're in the States, work 2 jobs. Hustle like a and stack up businesses behind you. Yeah, I mean, Jamie's, I plan to do that. Like, you know, do that. But at the end of the day, you know, I mean, that's the only thing I can do, right? You know what I mean? I was doing that. That's how I was able to travel overseas. But it still puts a dent in my spirit. Not a dent in my pocket, but a dent in my spirit. Because I had plans to make certain type of moves I couldn't make. Guys, I wanted to do the Brazilian Carnival. I couldn't do that. You know what I mean? And that situation was beyond my control. Because I had my lawyer and my mom that didn't communicate well. So they didn't get the paperwork that would have allowed me to come back in April, which made me come back in February. Now, I could always blame my mom. I could always blame my lawyer. I'm just telling you guys what happened. Am I blaming them? No, it is what it is. I got to take responsibility for my actions. I'm the one that even got the DUI, so it's nobody's fault but my own. Again, you know what I mean? I got to take responsibility for my own actions. Some people won't, you know? Hey, Milano, let you get back to the females. Let's get back to the females. Mike, what females? This is real life talking. That's why I don't have friends. Well, here's the thing, Apex, and I'll be honest with you, and I'm not trying to be rude, a lot of people in the travel space don't have friends, and they try to make friends with a lot of people in the travel space, and a lot of these guys, end up turning on 'em. I've seen it countless times, bro. I've seen it so many times. I could count it on my hands, both hands, and both my feet, and have somebody else come through, and I can do the same thing and count them on their hands and feet. That's how bad it is. So, again, you know, people say this is why I don't have friends, but when you isolate yourself from people, there's a lot of blessings and a lot of good situations you keep yourself from. Now, when I was in Miami and I was friends with these people, I did have a good time, so I can't really talk too negatively about the situation as far as all that, because I did have a good time, hence why I stayed longer in Miami than I was supposed to. So I can't say I didn't have fun. I can't say I didn't have good experiences. But with everything, Apex, everything's a gamble. People want to point fingers. I know I seen something on a live, people like, oh, this person has a gambling problem. These people have gambling problems. These people have gambling problems. Bro, life is a gamble. Like, when you step outside, you're gambling every day with your life. Everything's a gamble. People don't feel like cooking, they eat McDonald's. You're gambling with your life right there, because that's unhealthy food, because you don't feel like cooking. You drive in a car, drive down the street, you could get an accident. Something happens or whatever. That's a gamble. You go work out, that's a gamble, because you could overdo it and hurt yourself. You know what I mean? Some of you guys taking boxing, Muay Thai, kickboxing, that's a gamble. Somebody hits you the wrong way, they cause brain damage. You know what I'm saying? So everything is a gamble. So when people say all these guys got gambling problems, life is a gamble. If you want to be the best version of yourself and be a business owner, being in business is a gamble. When I was doing the YouTube overseas, and I was doing it full time to promote a business, a travel business per se, that was a gamble. I was gambling. When I did taxi and I was making $50,000 a year tax free, that was a gamble. Not the 50,000, but picking up different people. I could have got robbed. I could have got robbed and killed. Anything could have happened. So everything's a gamble, man. So when you say that's why I don't have friends, I mean, staying yourself, sometimes is good, but a lot of times I see guys who stay themselves, and a lot of them are really miserable. One of the guys in this situation, I'm not going to mention his name because we're still going through the court situation. One of the guys, he came to me and he tried to befriend me. And I really didn't like him. I didn't really feel his vibe too much. So I really wasn't into trying to be his friend and stuff like that. And I have, I'm not going to say I have a great judge of character, but there was just something about him. And, he might be the reason why I'm in this situation. He might be even the reason why me and the other person got into it. It is what it is. But again, at the end of the day, I told you, actions, reactions, consequences. You know what I mean? Let me see. I'm on my way to North Carolina. All right. Hey, I'm at Global. Yo, bro, stop feeding into the nonsense. Do your thing. There's the Cash App. If the Cash App is in my videos, bro, on the pinned comments. Just gotta look at it. I didn't put it because I was like, this situation was so real. I really was like, I'll be honest with you. I only mentioned the fundraiser because I know I was supposed to do one, but the situation was so real, I didn't even think about the Cash App. You see what I'm saying? Like, I just was like, yo, this situation is so real. It's crazy. You know what I mean? But, bro, stop feeding the nonsense. Do your thing. It doesn't even matter about feeding nonsense, because the nonsense will take care of you eventually. You know what I mean? Okay, that you're a good guy. I got one as a backup. I am the backup to everyone in my family. That's why I hustle so hard. That's what motivates me because of the huge responsibilities. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I tell people all the time, there's people that, can't do long-term travel for their own responsibilities. My boy is like that situation, Jamie's, the one that got ripped off of the 60 grand. Because it's so bad, he got ripped off 60 grand, but he's working 2 jobs to make sure he gets the money back and save. But also, with everything going on, he's going to have to step up and help his parents a little more with his brothers. You know what I'm saying? So he can't go overseas like that, even if he wanted to. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's not going to go overseas because he got kids and a family, but even if he wanted to, he doesn't even have that option. I mean, me and him he was supposed to come to North Carolina and hang out with me in the summer. He can't do that. All that responsibility, he's not able to do that. That would be going into his funds that, could be going to his kids or his parents, which I respect, you know what I mean? Because he's always been there for me. So I can't make these ultimatums for him, you know what I mean, to him. Because me and him been tight since we were 6 years old. So if anything, I'm more of a support than how you say it, person with demands. You should learn to read people before you have to put hands on them. Nah, man, because here's the thing. You never know how people are. You know what I mean? You never know how people are. People switch up like the seasons. And you could, and mind you, there probably was some clues that I saw, but the clues wasn't that bad where I wanted to stay away from the person. Again, this person, I feel, is blaming me for other stuff that was out of my control. This person's blaming me for their credit score that's low because of their ex-wife. This person's blaming me because the girl they're dealing with is flirting with me, and I'm not doing anything to antagonize it. This is out of my control. So, again, I still stand on what I said. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. So, dude showed up to court. He pressed the judges. Yeah. So, basically, that's what's going to happen. What are you doing at U-Haul? Are you going to move some? Nah. I just did this because they have the not the shadow, the shade, so y'all can see me better because it's sunny out here in North Carolina. 5:57, we still got it. The sun's still shining, baby. You know what I mean? Down south. Milano on the grind, bro. Will you ever do a meet and greet event for your fans? I don't know, man. I'll be honest with you. I'm going to keep it a buck, like 4 quarters. It's hard for me to want to hang out with fans because one thing I'll say, guys, right? So one thing I give props to with me traveling all these years, right? Well, not only the years, but last year into this year, right? I saw a lot of stuff and I had a lot of experiences. That's why I think I'm not so, like, most people would be bitter. Most people would be bitter if they couldn't travel for X amount of time, but I'm not. And some people are like, oh, I know you gotta be bitter. You're front. I know you. But dude, do you know me? There was a time I couldn't travel for 2 years. I mean, I traveled to Puerto Rico, if you can't count that, but I wasn't traveling overseas. And I was just fine. And people like, oh, I don't know how you could do that. I don't know. There's difference between me and you. That's the thing. A lot of guys, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn or think I'm better than anybody, but a lot of these guys, they're not able to travel as often as me. I'm just being honest. It's not like I'm saying I'm better than them. It's not saying I'm talking down on them. A lot of these guys are not able to travel as often as me. And with that being said, and it doesn't make them a bad person or anything bad against them. With that being said, when they go on that trip, they need that trip more than me because maybe in 1 year, right, somebody may travel twice a year. I'm doing like 4 or 5 times in that 1 year. So somebody like me who's doing it 4 or 5 times in that 1 year, if there's a year I missed, I'm good. Because even if they do 2 years back to back and I miss a year, I'm still blowing them out the water. Now, when I say blowing out the water, I'm figuratively speaking. I'm not saying like competition, like I'm blowing these people out the water. But I'm saying as far as trip ratio, I'm doing more trips than them. So if I do at least, let's say I do 4 trips in a year, 4 times 2, that's 8. These dudes do 2 trips a year. Even let's say they do 3 trips a year. They do 3 trips a year. Some can only do 2, but say if they do 3 trips a year, 3 trips a year, and then the next year is 6. I'm still blowing them out two more. You know what I mean? And most of the guys, they're only doing 2 trips a year. Most guys aren't doing, not saying most, but there's some guys that can't do 3 trips a year. And I'm not here to clown them. This is not the time to clown them. I mean, I really shouldn't clown them, period, because I'm just happy anybody's traveling. I mean, still doing better than the people who are hating on me today and putting me in this position. So shout out to those guys, even though I travel once a year. How about that? You know what I mean? And people may think, oh, Milano, you're humble now. You're humble. No, it's just what I experienced in this, I wouldn't say this short period of time, but what I experienced in the 6 months I've been traveling has been so amazing. I am just grateful I was able to do it. Guys, there's many years I dreamed of being able to live, let's not say live it. People are going to talk about you ain't live over it. There's times I've dreamed on traveling long term, more than a month, and I was able to do it. Again, I always say this: if I'm not able to travel for another year, or even if I'm not able to travel for within another 6 months, it's all good because I got to achieve my dream of doing long-term travel. If it comes to a point where maybe I can travel, but I got to do a week or 2 weeks, or maybe just a week, once a year, it's all good because I got to do long-term travel. I got to hit my goal. That's the whole point I'm making, guys. You know, a lot of people have different goals, but that was one of my goals I've always wanted to do, and I never got a chance to do it, and I finally got the opportunity to do it where everything panned out right, and I did it. Now, mind you, I did not want to come earlier before April. I actually wanted to come back to the States around April. But unfortunately, this is how life is. Life makes its own rules. You could pan something out, but it'll switch around the figures eventually. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. I can't complain. I can't be bitter about what happened because I was able to travel long term, where there's times before I thought I would never be able to do that. I thought I would never be able to do it. I was like, oh, I'm never going to be able to travel over a month. This job keeps hounding me. This job said they'll fire me. This job said if I quit now, they'll never be able to get on. Like, these jobs are really like slave owners, bro. Like, I've had jobs literally tell me, and I was a good employee, if you give your leave of absence, we cannot promise you we'll hire you again, bro. Jobs literally told me that, bro. And that's crazy. But in North Carolina, it's a right to work state. So they could fire you for any reason and not give a damn. But God forbid you give them plenty of time, 2-3 weeks notice, and want to pursue your dream and then want to come back. They can't promise you you'll have your job back. And people could say, oh, well, they're saying that because they might get it filled. No, they're saying that because they're going to be spiteful. It could be possibly true that they might have somebody cover your position where they don't need you. But most of the time, they're being spiteful, guys. Let's keep it a buck, like 4 quarters. I only asked because the TMI dude did it, meet and greets. So yeah, everybody does their own thing, you know. That's another reason why, right? And I'm going to highlight this if you don't mind. That's why I'm going to highlight this. Because the thing about it is, and that's why this is why I'm not really pushing for the fundraiser anymore. Because I feel like if I push for the fundraiser, I'm being like the other guys that are doing that. And I feel like I'm swagger jacking. And yeah, everybody swagger jacks, so to speak, at least once or twice in their life. There's, people swagger jack New York City, Boston swagger jacks certain parts of certain stuff from in New York City. And I mean the New York City style, New York, the state. And there's some people down south that might swagger jack something from what New York does, or maybe New York swagger jacks something from Cali. Whatever it is, everybody's always somebody swagger jacks at least once or twice in their life. But here's the thing: I didn't want to be the dude that's be a follower, monkey see, monkey do. Guys always say that, right? And I know people take it the wrong way and think I'm being racist, but I'm gonna say this: I didn't want to be the monkey see, monkey do type guy. Like, oh yeah, I see this dude doing a fundraiser. Let me do a fundraiser at work for him. It was tempting to do it, and I really wanted to do it, but my scruples, my integrity, it's just like, that's why it took so long, guys. Like, it's also on top of that, I had bad reception in my house. I don't know what was going on with that thing. They got Spectrum, but yeah, that's why it took so long for me to really want to do the fundraiser. Like, I wanted to do it, but I was like, I don't really feel like staying on here an hour, 2 hours. And I know I was a little bit lazy, but also too, like, I could stay here on 2 or 3 hours, and it's not even about really being lazy. It's just, I didn't want to just sit up here and be begging you guys for money, and having you guys putting on you guys that you guys had to help me out. You guys had to help me travel to the next country. It's you guys' responsibility. I need you guys to raise me up $1,000. I need you guys to raise me up $2,000. Now, a lot of people think I'm stupid for saying this, and they'll probably be like, oh, man, you need to get that money. These other people get money. Well, listen, at the end of the day, shout out to those people getting a fundraiser, getting the free money. And maybe it's for them and it's not for me. Certain stuff is for you, certain stuff is not for you. Certain women is for guys, and certain women ain't for guys. There's certain non-pros for guys, and there's certain guys they have to do pay for play because that's what works for them. Certain stuff is for certain people, certain stuff isn't. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it matters what makes you happy and what you're comfortable with. I don't know, because of Tim. He's the really fat guy you chill with before. I think he's yeah, I mean, I've met up with TMI before, TMI Santiago, and he's pretty cool. Shout out to him. But yeah, he's pretty cool. Like I said, I met him. We talk on WhatsApp, and we had a little thing back in the day, but we're good now. But people like him because he's like I want to say people probably look at him as like, not only they look at him like they look at themselves, because let's keep it 100, right? Let's keep it a buck like 4 quarters. There's a lot of guys in the travel community that are overweight, got a belly, you know what I mean? Like I do, a little belly. And, these guys can relate to that. You know what I mean? And I think, somebody like TMI, he's relatable, he's honest. And I think that's why the people gravitate to him. And he doesn't try to act like, he puts it out there on the table already. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, I mean, shout out to him. Let's see. Jobs. Yeah. Let me see. You need a union job, bro. I always was treated like a slave by employers, and even union jobs are bad, but just not as bad as... Yeah, the only thing with a union job, though, you're technically their slave still. You're technically their slave. And actually, if you want to take off, it's hard for you to take off. I'm pretty sure you know that, Jamie's. You know what I mean? So even with my mom, her job is union. Yeah, she makes a lot of money, but all she does is go to work. And I'm not trying to talk bad about my mom. She makes good money, but all she does is go to work, go home, go to work, go home. Now, people could talk junk and say, well, she got some money to help you out. Yeah, but I also got money to help my own self out. Hence why I'm not demanding you guys to send me a fundraiser, or I'm begging her for her help. And it's not me being tough or being arrogant. It's just, at the end of the day, I got to do what I got to do. You know what I mean? But the thing with the union jobs is, man, you're never going to be able to travel long term. And I know, Jamies, you hate this guy's guts, and I'm going to mention him. I know you hate him so much. You know who I'm about to mention, Jamies, right? You know who I'm about to mention, right? You know who I'm about to mention, right, Jamies? David Bond. I like his stuff because his stuff was reality, and I could relate to it a lot. And also, too, he had a similar mindset like me as far as trying to actually just live your life and enjoy your life overseas. Like, he does the YouTube, but he's not big on it, like, making money. Like, he used it to make money off his programs, but he wasn't big on trying to make money off the YouTube like that. Like, it was more of a stepping stone. And one thing I liked about his videos is, like, he'll have these philosophy videos where he talks about life and, like, deep thoughts, like, yo, you're about to die, act like it, like, all this stuff. And it makes you think, like, it just makes you think differently, bro. And that's why David Bond will always be my favorite YouTuber. I like a lot of YouTubers. I watch a lot of them. What's his name? Roberto vs. World. His stuff is a little funny. Kurt Cass. I don't really like Ace Live like that. Check in Effect is cool. Stuff like that. But out of all the YouTubers, I want to say David Bond is my favorite YouTuber. Like, I could binge watch David Bond back to back and not get sick of it. He's just my favorite YouTuber. And a lot of people may not like David Bond, like Jamies and a couple other people, but I really could relate to his thought process. It's a lot of the stuff. So, and how he came from a 9 to 5. It's not like he had an awesome big time job and he was able to travel overseas because he made all this money. No, he had a regular job, saving up money, going overseas, started his own business, got himself out of that situation. You know what I mean? So shout out to him. Hopefully he's doing better these days. But yeah, man, it's at the end of the day, I'm not ungrateful for my opportunities I have. I'm very happy that, I got to do what I could do. Because there's people who will and I'm not even trying to be funny, guys. I'm being honest, and I guarantee you can agree with me. There's people who will never, ever be able to travel like I did. Never in their life. They can make 6 figures a year. They can make $170K a year. They can make $200,000 a year, $300,000. They will never, ever be able to travel overseas like I did. I know a couple of them. I know one guy, he makes $180,000 a year in Boston off IT work, Jamies. I know a guy that makes $180,000 a year in Boston. He's not going overseas. He has a wife, he has kids, he has a side chick, but the thing about it is he needs that side chick, and with that side chick, he feels like, oh, I don't need to go overseas. So he's not really cultured, but he has a lot of money. Does that mean he's doing better than me? Yeah, financially he is, but think about it. The guy has a wife, kids, and then he has a little side piece where, and it's not me ratting him out because I'm not telling his name or whatever. Y'all don't even know him. But at the end of the day, with the side piece, you got to think, that's your only escape. That's your only escape. He's not able to go overseas. Now, he might be able to travel throughout the States, but come on, man. we're not going to really compare traveling through the states versus traveling overseas, right? We're not going to compare that, guys, right? Because we know there's no comparison. But yeah, and that's the thing, man. That's the thing. And this same guy, he has like gray hairs on top of his head and a gray beard. Like he looks old. Like, you know what I'm saying? And we're around the same age. That's the crazy thing about it, guys. He looks old, and we're around the same age. Again, the guy makes $180 a year. IT. All you guys talk about these great jobs and everything, and I'm not bashing people with great jobs, but I'm using this as an example. This guy has a great job, $180K a year. People be like, oh, well, he's doing good. He's doing better than you. And I have a homeboy that's like, yeah, $180K a year. He can afford to do that because the homeboy I'm telling that about, I'm telling that to, he's not making $180K a year. He's probably making maybe $40,000 a year, you know, doing DoorDash or some shit, but he's not making $80K a year, or even maybe $45,000 a year doing DoorDash, but he's not making $80K a year. So of course, I mean, he's not making $180K a year. I'm sorry, $180K a year, 180, almost $200,000 a year. He's not making that. So he thinks that dude is doing great. But if you're making almost $200,000 a year and you have not traveled to experience other cultures, is it really worth the payment? Is it really worth the money? You know what I mean? Is it really worth it? You definitely number one over the travelers. Gotta get back to work, lunch break. Yeah, appreciate you, man. You know what I mean? Like, is it really worth it, guys? You know what I'm saying? Because there's guys who, like me, I started pushing shopping carts at Walmart, and I was traveling. And again, I say this story, I've said it in the past. There was a guy saying he made $60,000 a year. Now, he said he made 6 figures a year, but I found out he made 60 grand a year. Shout out to him. He was making 60 grand a year in New York, the state of New York. I wasn't even making 60 grand a year. I was even making 50 grand a year pushing shopping carts. I want to say maybe I was making under 30,000 a year, but I was able to travel 3 to 4 times a year. 3 to 4 times a year, guys. I'm sorry, I think it was like 2 to 3 times a year. Yeah. I'll say 3 to 4 times a year, give or take. Let's say I was able to travel 3 times a year. We'll say 3 times a year solid, right? Just to be honest, right? He can only travel once a year. If he was going to travel twice a year, he was struggling to travel twice a year because he had so many expenses. So he couldn't do that. At the end of the day, he could not afford to travel and do it 3 times a year. Now, you guys, think about it. He's making $60K a year. I'm making what, $25,000 a year, something like that, under $30,000. Who's really living the life, guys? Now, I know guys are gonna be like, "Oh, well, Milano, when you was doing that, you was in Sasua, you was tricking off or whatever." At the end of the day, guys, I know y'all are gonna accuse me of that and throw that in my face. But at the end of the day, I upgraded. That was the stepping stone for me to be great and go overseas, long term. That was the stepping stone, and now I actually experienced what it's like to travel long term, and nobody could take that away from me. You know what I mean? Those 2 experiences, me being over in Dominican Republic, me being in Brazil, nobody could take that away from me. There's people who really believe Brazil's so dangerous. There's guys that actually are who've been to Dominican Republic, and there's guys who are scared to go to Brazil alone. I kid you not. There's guys who are scared to go to Brazil alone. I went to Brazil alone on my first round during the COVID. They don't got the balls like me. They don't got the huevos like me. You know what I mean? And it's not to down talk them, but at the same time, they ain't got what it takes because they have to depend on somebody. Again, do you guys get the message what I'm telling you on this live? It's not me talking down. It's not me saying I'm the best traveler ever. None of these dudes can touch me, whatever. it's about letting you know I stand on business and I stand for something and I have morals and scruples and integrity so much that not only I have so much integrity and scruples that I can travel on my own and I don't need another man to lead me by the hand. Some of these guys, they need somebody to do that. Some don't. I'm not saying I'm the only one that's traveled all by myself, because I'm definitely not. But there's a lot of guys there's guys I know that literally can't travel to certain places like Brazil. I know certain guys that can't even travel to the Dominican Republic by themselves that are like, yo, I want to go to DR, but I can't because I don't know what to expect. Yo, let me know when you're going there. Like, there's guys literally telling me that, bro. There's guys literally telling me that. So, at the end of the day, I'm grateful I was able to learn about DR. A lot of the rumors, the stereotypes, I would say, not rumors, the stereotypes about Dominican Republic, there are some that's true, but I learned there's some of the stuff of the rumors. I mean, the stereotypes, there was some of the stereotypes that were just stereotypes. Same thing with Brazil. People thought it's really dangerous in Brazil, where you can't go alone, you can't do this. I was in Salvador Bahia, Itapuã, and I even said this on Dreez's channel when I was typing it, and they wasn't getting the message. They just thought I was trying to argue and start trouble, but I'm like, bro. They're like, oh yeah, go to a tour. You go to a tourist section. I'm like, bro, I was in Salvador Bahia. Oh, that's the tourist section. I was into Itapuã, the hood area. Where shout out to Philly Dom, who's motivated me to go to Brazil on the second go round. He was even scared for me to go walk the streets at night. So that's definitely not tourist area, buddy. Like, you ain't never been to Itapuã. Shout out to Negrito Grande. He know where Itapuã is. We were supposed to meet up with him. We missed him. Shout out to him. Maybe next time we see him. Ask Negrito Grande. Itapuã ain't no tourist area, buddy. So all that tourist talk, y'all miss me on that, bro. Fortaleza ain't no tourist area. Fortaleza ain't no tourist area. You guys got me mixed up with a guy that just went to Rio. That ain't me. You know what I mean? That ain't me. So at the end of the day, I got to go to places that people would never go alone. Big, small, fat, in shape, or tall. They would not go alone. They need somebody to go with them. Yeah. Yeah, you definitely travel alone. But they need somebody to go with them. They can't travel alone. It is what it is. You know what I mean? And I know I got a homeboy, he was supposed to be traveling. Well, he said it was in the works. Yeah, it's in the works for me to travel. I'm like, I hate when people say, oh, it's in the works. No, it's in the works for him to get the passport. Bro, I hate it when people say it's in the works. Like that, I mean, well, he's the only one I ever heard say that. But I'm like, bro, why would you say it's in the works? It's a $150 passport, bro. If you can't afford it, you can't afford it. I'm not trying to be an a-hole, but bro, 150 is not in the works. 150 is you gonna either do it or you're not. And if you're not, there's no reason for you to say you're gonna travel, And I know people gonna say, well, Milano, be sympathetic. He might have bills like you. He might be struggling with money like you. He might have this situation. I get it, but don't say what you're gonna do. Just do it, and don't say you're in the works of getting your passport when you know you're not. You're not in the works of getting your passport. You're not gonna get your passport. What's gonna happen usually when people talk about they're gonna get their passport, they get hemmed up in a situation, and I'm not saying good or bad, but they get hemmed up in a situation. Now they don't even want to get their passport because they think it's a waste of money, and now they don't have no reason to go overseas because they don't have no one to guide them. Again, the people that haven't traveled before, now listen, when I first traveled, I did travel with somebody. So I'm not capping with you guys when I'm saying, oh, I don't need nobody to travel. I'm saying after the first time, I didn't need nobody to travel. But I'm telling you guys that are first time traveling, I would highly suggest you guys travel with somebody. Don't go on a whim like me. The solo traveling is solely for trained professionals, guys. You know what I mean? You don't want to do this alone. because you don't want to get put in a bad situation, and then it puts a bad taste in your mouth. It puts a bad taste in your mouth, and then you don't want to go overseas no more. And then you get stuck in the matrix, or stuck in the States, and you're like, yo, I'm not even going overseas no more. This is whack, bro. This is whack, da-da-da, whatever it is. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. For my Cash Apps, I'm probably gonna probably put in the community section. If you guys didn't see, look through the videos. A couple of my videos, scroll down 2 or 3 of my videos that I already had. It should be in the pinned comments. My 2 most recent regular videos. I'm gonna keep pinning like my Cash App and my other information, where if you guys want to donate, and just let me know if you do donate. Let me know if you don't want to be put out there, so I don't put you out there if you don't want to be put out there. If you donate, I want to show the appreciation and post your name with the amount on the community board. But if you tell me not to, I won't. I respect people's privacy. But yeah, this guy's talking about it's in the works of traveling. He's not traveling, bro. He's not going nowhere. He's not getting no passport. And I know a lot of people, I know I know a couple people like, well, Milano, you ain't traveling. But bro, the traveling I got as the background, like the places I've been, a lot of people need to catch up. And I'm not saying about the guys that got the passports traveling. I'm talking about the guys who want to travel and haven't. You know what I mean? Like, I did years of traveling over these places, and I did long-term traveling, short-term and long-term. I did the shortest term, like 3 days, and I did the longest terms, one of the longest terms, as far as almost 3 months. But it could get longer, you know what I mean, as far as traveling. But, I did up to 3 months, other places and stuff. So, I'm just grateful to have the opportunity to be able to do that, guys. But at the end of the day, man, I'm still going to drop videos. But I figure I'd drop this live to let you guys know what's going on with your boy. And, why I haven't been going live lately. I just been trying to figure out what I'm going to do, what moves I'm going to make. I ended up getting a second job so I could get more money. I thought the other job was going to give me full-time hours. They're not doing it. So, I had to double up, you know what I mean? But until I could find something where I want to have it where I don't want to work 2 jobs all the time. And I don't want to work 2 part-time jobs. I'd rather get 1 full-time and do it like that. So I'm working on that. But again, guys, we got a lot of stuff ahead of us. April 2nd, I got the date for the DUI charge. So I'm looking at that. And I'll keep you guys informed about that. I'll probably do a live that day, let you guys know about that. But I appreciate everything, guys. I did 8 months in Africa. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. But I appreciate you guys for tuning in. 10 likes. I'm still appreciative of that. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It's your boy Milano, back at it again like he never left. Like, subscribe, share, comment. Till next time, videos still coming out. I think I got some videos I haven't dropped. I think I got one in Brazil and a couple in DR I'm going to drop and upload for you guys. So, keep you guys motivated. Just because I'm down don't mean you guys got to be down. And you guys, I gotta have a depressing story to make you guys too depressed to go on your trips. One monkey don't run no show. It's your boy Milano, back yet again. I appreciate you. My shortest trip was 1 week. Okay. I appreciate you guys. Till next time, holla at you.